Okay, so as we transition into the compensation plan, I would like to just here at the outset tell you I have really come to see that I understand the compensation plan a little bit different now than what I used to, and I think the major deal with that is I have. Um, I now appreciate it more. Like I feel like because I need to know it. You know, the compensation plan doesn't become important until you start like seeing it in action a little bit. So although I do want to go over it, I also think some of it you probably won't like get. It won't register until it needs to. So during this time, typically, you know, the one that we did last week was about getting started and about you know, really sharing from your heart and not approaching somebody in a style of like, buy this so I can make money on you kind of stuff. And just really having a heart to serve. Like, I don't think people do well with sharing their essential oils if they're coming from a place of, um, I don't know how to say, I guess just like the idea you want to help people, you love people, and you know that they need solutions. And so, without being pushy, hopefully, to be able to share that because you want them to be well, not because you want to earn money. So, I'm going to say that at the outset that I really do think this is just a way to be rewarded for talking passionately and you know smartly about something that you already you know feel like is really important that somebody really needs. So I like the idea of not getting mixed up in the concept that if we're going to um, that if we're going to like earn something back from recommending it, that makes it bad, right? And so I know MLMs have gotten a bad name, and I agree. I've been mixed up with some things that I spent money on, that I lost money on, and you know some relationships that people were too pushy. So I totally get that MLMs are not typically you know fantastic for everybody, and I really honestly feel like doTERRA is different. And part of that is the fact that it's based on product and like the things that we use at doTERRA, the lifelong vitality supplements and the essential oils, they're changing people's lives. I mean, seriously. And so it's not many people. In fact, I think the number that I read is like 82% of all the people who have an account with doTERRA are just getting the products because they love them. It's just because it's really awesome, not because they want to make money. And so it's only that remaining portion, what is that, 17% or something like that, are doing it because they're like, yeah, I'm going to make this actually my business now, and I'm going to get some compensation for being able to share. So whatever level it is for you, if you're like, okay, I want to be like Amanda and make this like my primary source of income. And by the way, I had my very best month this past month. And several of the people that are really close to me who are doing other sharing with doTERRA as well are also having fantastic months. And you know, that's not supposed to happen while there's a pandemic going on, right? Everybody's supposed to be like so much more stingy with their money because there's like uncertainty in the future. But what's happening is people are saying like, of all the times that I need to be empowered, it's right now. And I think it's awesome that the investment of conversation, the investment of like little samples, and just the fact that I followed up, that I cared about somebody enough to say, did that actually work for you for your sleep? Did that actually work for you for your allergies? Like the fact that I cared and followed up with them has now resulted in me being able to have a very nice, I'm not all the way to financial freedom yet, but I'm well on my way. And I feel good about how I'm doing it because it's with a heart of service where I'm helping people. So all of that is to kind of preface the fact that, like most people, when they start, they feel like MLM is like too salesy and yucky, and they don't even want to know anything about the compensation plan. They think it'll taint the way they, tell somebody or share. And so if that's you and that's where you're at, I hope you'll just kind of sit back and listen. But if you're somebody who's already been like, okay, well, I already gave them this, and I already have this with my mother-in-law, and I have this person who I know needs some clarity calm or whatever it is, if you're already doing that, go ahead and listen up to a couple of different things I'm about to tell you, and how it works to get some of that back, because I think it's important to know. Marcella, do you have something you want to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to maybe piggyback on that a minute. Yesterday I got to talk a little bit with one of the people that's on the phone. I'm not going to put her on the spot and make her talk, but Renee is on the phone, and I was able to share with her, or share her, I guess, success, where I started chatting with her. Gosh, it's probably been 3 or 4 months now, about some seasonal attacks that she has and having to deal with that, and trying to find natural solutions to get her off some over-the-counter meds that she was on. And she's, from what I hear yesterday, she didn't need to use one thing that she usually uses as a secondary thing all season, and now she's off the regular over-the-counter meds. And I'm just like, this is why I do what I do, because I can share this with people and see their lives changed. And I kind of told her I also signed up for doTERRA not wanting to do this, not wanting to do what you're doing, not wanting to ever be on a Zoom call doing what I'm doing right now. I signed up because I wanted to make some, DIY stuff, and I wanted to take care of my seasonal attacks that I had to deal with. And I was like, that's all I want. But I mentioned this to Renee yesterday when we were talking. I knew I had to do this when I was on a plane, hearing people sneezing and thinking, would it be inappropriate if I run up and down the aisles and hand people some lemon peppermint lavender? And that's kind of when I knew it wasn't about selling, it was about helping people. So I'll
Awesome.
share that.
Yeah, thank you. That's perfect. Yep. Yeah, so yes, it's not about making money. It really is about helping people. But that being said, like a worker is worthy of their wages, right? That's a biblical concept. And so, what do those wages look like? I'm going to share my screen really quick. Thank you, Marcella, also for putting some things in the chat for us. A couple of things that that you guys may want to take a look at. Number one, over here in the Back to Basics book, you can print this off, but we're looking at pages 49, 50, and 51. So if you guys have already popped into the daily mentor calls and you're listening to some of the ideas about training from Elise Shedevy, if you've already kind of opted in to get like it's basically a set of calls that's somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour, where Elise Shedevy, who's a doTERRA Triple Diamond, walks you through step by step. This is just a free thing that makes it so that you can access the calls through email on one of the pages. But so if you've already gotten into that, you may have seen some of these kinds of things. But because it happens to be printed sideways, I'm just going to show you a slightly different look at it. Wait, I can find it. Did I just close the wrong thing? Hang on a second. Okay, this is what I wanted. All right. But here's one more thing that I wanted to quick show you. I'm going to do a super fast overview because most of the people listening only need like the very basics. But if you want it really spelled out, Elise Shedevy's husband does this one on YouTube. So,
welcome everyone, this is Patrick Shedevy here, and we're going to be talking about doTERRA's compensation plan today.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there, but just know that that's easily accessible. I think we even have that link to put in the comments if you guys want to know the real lowdown on it. Okay, so this is the one that I'm going to pop up. There are 5 ways that we get paid in doTERRA. So we have the retail profit, fast start, the power of 3, and then what we call the unilevel or residual earnings, and the leadership pools. So those are the 5 ways that we can earn. I'm going to talk about each of them. The retail is when you have everybody who's a wellness advocate has a website. It's, you know, kind of auto-generated, and you kind of like, you put your name and your picture in there, and then it's done, more or less. Okay, and you can beef it up other ways if you want to, but this website becomes useful for selling specifically to retail customers. And I usually give the example of, you know, your friend over in Washington State is having a lot of head pain, and they're you know, they believe you that they should try some past tense. They might just order it off of your website when you send them the link, and you get 25% of whatever they have bought. So that's great. So say they ordered $100 worth of past tense. Okay, no, that's probably not actually going to happen, but normally it's, you know, like, you know, 25 bucks here or whatever. But so you get 25% of whatever that is. And that's just a one-time thing. So once a month, you'll get, you know, something from that way. But what happens is after they try it, they're gonna be like, well, that was stupid that I bought retail. I need my own account so I don't have to pay like a higher price, because you want the 25% discount, right? And that's anybody who has their wholesale account gets the discount. So then it lumps into a whole different thing. So I would say in general, don't mess around too much with the retail thing. Like it's not where the good money is going to be made, or it's not, you know, generally supportive of you long term. Now, what's fun is once a week, you get a check that's called Fast Start, and it's paid on a new enrollee. So it's like, so not someone who just wants to buy the one thing, but someone who says, yeah, I need to go ahead and get my account, and then I'm going to be able to keep ordering myself without having to, you know, ask Amanda to get this for me or that for me or whatever. So a new enrollee's account for 60 days, I get an extra bonus for supporting them and showing them what they need to get healthy. So it's 60 days, and the person who is receiving the benefit for this has to have 100 PV in their LRP cart in order to receive this. So that's actually, I know we mentioned that previously when we talked about this, the idea, if you're at 100 PV in your loyalty rewards cart, because that's what you want to do to qualify to receive income. So no matter what, all those ways that we're talking about, you have to have a 100 PV in your cart in order to do that. Okay, oops, sorry. Okay. So what happens? So 60 days you have for that person who brand new enrolls, like I'll say Sarah enrolls, and Sarah, like the first time she starts out real slow, maybe she just wants some adaptive to help her get through some hard times. And then maybe 30 days later, she's like, you know, that LRP thing you told me about, Amanda, I'm pretty excited about that. And I really need someone on guard to help me with a couple things. And, you know, my roommate is really struggling with her arthritis and her medication's not working. What if I just got some of that for my shoulder, but I also let her try a little bit of it? So, you know, basically I'm gonna add like an extra $100 this next month. And so instead of only getting a reward for the very first time that she ordered something, it also goes for 60 days. So like 30 days later, she orders something else. And then like 2 months later, she's ordering, I'm still getting 20% back on everything that she buys. So Sarah's purchases, 20% of them come into my pocket in a form of, well, I actually have direct deposit. You guys can get checks if you want to, but it was getting taxing to always pay the $1.95. It's $1.95 to have the check issued to you. So I did direct deposit. That way doTERRA just puts it right into my bank account. But the person above me, because I enrolled Sarah, so the person above me is actually getting 10% of whatever that looks like, you know, in terms of how much Sarah gets. And then the person above them is getting 5%. Now this becomes really cool when you have a relationship where everybody in your church group or whoever is friends, and being able to like mutually support that person and to be like, oh, I remember you told me about the digestive issues you were having. Make sure you put that in your LRP cart. Well, great. And it's not necessarily, selfish of you. It's just supportive that you took the time to tell them about it. And then for 60 days, you get this extra little perk. Now, you do have to notice that all these people do have to be having an order that's above 100, and you can check it in your back office if you guys end up needing to do that, which we won't cover today. Okay, so retail profit, fast start. I hope it's fairly clear about the fast start. Power of 3 is the next way that we earn. Notice here that all of these people have this key about the loyalty rewards being over 100. When you're looking at you, so I'm going to call this me, right? And then I'm going to say here's Marcella down here, and we'll say Melissa and Yvette, for example. And so these 3 people, if all of them are ordering above 100, I get a special little bonus if our team volume is over 600. So, so that means I get $50 as my, extra bonus on top of. So this is in addition to the fast start. There's no competition in terms of if I got one, I can't get the other, right? All 5 of them are mutually combinable. So now then if Marcella tells a couple people and they're purchasing and loving their products, all the help that Renee, for example, has gotten with allergies or whatever it is, getting those things into your life and helping them means that that all 3 of those people are now doing a $100 order, 100 LRP. And so say that happens also for Melissa and for Yvette, for example, and then so they start getting their $50 bonus. Each one of them gets their $50 bonus, but because I'm supporting all of them, I get $250 because they're my second level who's doing the right action, right? And then when each of those 3 people also is doing their 100 LRP, then so now Marcella and Melissa and Yvette, you guys are getting $250 for your second level, and I start getting a $1,500 bonus every single month. And what's great about that is you guys probably know $1,500 is like a mortgage payment. It's you can do a lot with that. It becomes very, very encouraging when you get to that level. So, so that's fast start, power of 3, and then we have what we call usually we call it unilevel earnings for this portion. And oh yeah, here's the word unilevel. I was like, why does it keep saying residual? But that is the cool thing. So long term, this whole residual idea. So even if I decide that my kids and I are going to go vacation and take a hike in some Brazilian mountains and see all the waterfalls and things like that, and I want to take three weeks off, and I still will be receiving income when I take time off, because I've done the work ahead of time to support my people. And so they call that unilevel. And so the different, if depending on how many people that I have that I'm supporting, I get to have up to 7%. So silver is when it starts. That when I have people who are built 7 levels down, then I start getting extra. Actually, with extra bonuses combined this one. I said that in a confusing way. So I'm earning 2% from, right, this is me. I'm also getting not only this $50 bonus, but I'm getting 2% of whatever they are purchasing. And I'm getting, as we see down here on level 2, I'm getting 3% on whatever these people are purchasing, in addition to the other, bonuses that I'm getting. And as it keeps going down, I'll be getting, 5% and 6% and 7%. And one other thing that I have to kind of mention real quick is there is such thing here as what they call dynamic compression, which is tricky when you get to the ins and outs of it. But basically, if somebody doesn't have their, say, their 100 PV order for example, and which means that they can't get the money, they can't get the commission from somebody on their fourth level. Well, that's okay, because that money just rolls up to the next person who is able to receive it. So if I do have my LRP order placed, and I am, you know, ranking as executive or something like that, then they just roll up to me. And so it really does go farther down than 7 levels. You know, I could have somebody, you know, on like my 14th level, but because someone on level 3 and level 6 and level 9 aren't ordering, they happen to be in a place that I'm getting 7% on them anyway. I hope that's not too confusing. I know if you want to hear like the real ins and outs of it, that other YouTube video that I showed you is better, but it's called dynamic compression, and it's very advantageous for us. And I'll tell you that the majority of other compensation plans that you find that are not doTERRA, number one, they don't have 5 different ways to earn. I mean, this is pretty unheard of when you look at whatever it is, you know, like the legging company or the company for kitchen gadgets or whoever it may be. When you look at their compensation plans, they don't have nearly as many ways for us to earn. And they also have this reversed, which I should tell you is a huge, huge deal, where like you would be getting 7% on your first line. And everybody thinks that's so cool. Oh no, I want a higher percentage on the people I'm getting you know, here who are like right here under me. But when you have this many people, like look at all these people that are now on my 3rd level, or my, wait, so 1, 2, 3, yeah, on my 3rd level. I'm already getting a bonus on them, but look how many there are there. So I would want a higher percentage on the people farther down, because that makes it so I have more residual income. My U-level earnings become very, very high, because the people who are farther down, I'm getting more on. So I think that's really awesome. I really like that that's the case here. I'm gonna pop over for just a second because I noticed that there was a chat. Let me go ahead and ask you guys, who here has actually shared a sample of some sort with a friend? Okay, so go ahead and put in the comments for me if you have ever shared a sample with a friend, something that that you thought would be helpful. Maybe it was on guard, maybe it was something for headache or allergy, something like that. If you yourself, as you're listening, have actually shared a sample, go ahead and type something into the comments for me. Okay, so yes or no, if you yourself have shared a sample. Now, it doesn't count if you knew they had headaches a lot, and so you just gifted them an entire like Christmas present of past tense or something like that. That doesn't count. It's not exactly a sample. So the deal would be if you've done it in such a way that they got to try it, try a small portion, then come back and tell you like how amazing it was. So I'm kind of curious to hear. Okay, so somebody shared Copa Eva. Good job, Chris. Yep, looks good. Deep blue and allergies. Awesome. Cool. Okay, thank you guys for participating. And there is a reason for doing that. Oh, wait, Marcella, I forgot. I forgot to tell people about the winners, right? Should I stop now and do it, or should I wait till the end? Let me wait till the end. Okay, I'm gonna wait till the end real quick. And but so I'm gonna get through this, and then we have some prizes for a couple of people. So hope you guys will enjoy that. Okay. Okay, I have to go back and share my screen again. It's clicking. Okay, so we've covered Unilevel, Fast Start, Power of 3, Retail. The last thing is these leadership pools. And this one, there actually honestly is really 6 ways to earn, because this empowerment pool is a whole extra thing. But I guess it kind of counts under the leadership things. It's just recently, doTERRA, with it about 2 years ago, they started doing what's called the empowerment bonus. And that means if you already rank as one of these kinds of things as silver or above, and you enroll somebody, you get a whole extra, chunk of change. And in general, the empowerment pool gives you something like somewhere between $150 to $200 extra on top of whatever else you're already earning. And they recently reinstated a secondary one for this, which only just was announced like 2 weeks ago, so I don't have the updated thing, but it also counts for people who are gold and above, that as long as you enroll one person a month in that month, then you get your extra bonus, which again is somewhere between 150 and 200. Okay, so other than level, and the other thing, as you increase in rank, you're also able to have extra portions of pieces of the pizza pie, kind of thing. So someone who goes to the pizza party, if they're silver, they're going to get 1 piece of 2% of every single thing that doTERRA makes. This is internationally. So even people who are purchasing in China or in Guatemala or in Canada, everything that doTERRA is making, 2% gets skimmed off the top, and people who are silver, gold, or platinum get to receive shares of that. So it's either 1 share or 5 shares or 10 shares of that whole thing. So 10 pieces of pizza go to a platinum member, and 5 go to the gold. So it's one big pizza sliced many times, and so that's how that ends up being. Now, some of these times the bonuses themselves become, well, I think at this rate, oh, you know what, that's actually what I was going to tell you guys. I forgot to tell you about this part here. This is another cool page that I thought was great. So if you don't include Fast Start, not because you can't have them, but just because it makes it easier to kind of understand, when you have the $50 power of 3, and you're earning the 2% on what people on your first line are making, normally you're going to have a basic income of about $59. So if that's your first month income, you're like, nah, okay, it's something, because at least I only had to pay 100 PV or to have that set up in my cart. So it's almost covering the cost of my oil, so that's not so bad. When you have the next level down, which I was showing you guys, you get the $250 bonus. That's a power of 3 bonus, and then add to it the unilevel, and that becomes about $300, which means that you're doubling the investment that you have made, because you started with a kit that was probably around 100 PV, and but then the next month you got the $59, but you had to pay 100, right? Because that's what makes you eligible to get the compensation. So then by the time you're making $300, you've doubled your investment, right? Because you got the 100 from here, and that you paid for LRP, and then 100 for LRP this month. But now you've made double that. Does that make sense? I think I said that more confusing than I should have. You're totally getting all your money back, like right here by the second month, if you're getting that filled out in that level. As you start continuing, because this becomes your $1,500 bonus, and you're getting all the unilevel. So even if you just have these 3 filled out, that's kind of what it looks like. This is not including leadership pools and not including Fast Start bonuses. Okay, so then you start looking at, as you get more and more people filled out, doing their regular orders and things like that, you can see it really, really gets into some large numbers. And this is on a monthly basis. And this doesn't include the leadership pools, okay? So yeah, $34,071. This can definitely be a very, very good thing. Okay, so, but when you're jumping up into the leadership pool too, a whole 1% is divided between the diamond, blue diamond, and presidential diamonds. And then you also have a separate 1%. So here's 2%, 1%, let's make 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the enrollment empowerment pool makes 7. So 7% of whatever doTERRA makes is cut off the top and divided between these people. So that's basically what the whole idea of multi-level marketing here is supporting the people who are doing the work. We're not paying advertisers. We're not going into GNC and trying to train people that way. We're not, taking out radio announcements or running ads on Facebook or something like that. doTERRA is paying the people who are caring for their neighbors, helping them work through their allergies, helping them work through their sleep issues, and the money is going and being divided up between them in these very generous ways. So as you jump into more and more of the pools, your piece of the pie is, or the piece of the pizza keeps getting expanded and expanded. Okay, that may be overwhelmed for some of you. Hopefully it's not terrible. All right, I'm seeing some people that get some good stuff. Okay, because of the participation, okay, I'm kind of disappointed, Marcella. I'm noticing that one of the people that I was hoping to give a prize to isn't here. Yeah, I don't know. Did you reach out to her to see if she could pop on?
I did. She
Oh.
overslept today.
Oh, that's such a bummer. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's okay because in 8 more weeks we'll be doing this lesson again, so it's all good. But I'm going to call out Marie, which I don't know if Marie Buncato is able to come on or not, but you have your choice of one of these 3 diffusers. I'm going to give a super quick intro about each of them so that you can decide what you would like the most. So you have this 360 diffuser, which goes, I really like this one. It has a large reservoir, so you can have it go for like, is it 24 hours? It's at least 18 if it's not 24. I actually forget. Oh, it says 16 hours. I was wrong. Okay, so yeah, so 16 hours of runtime, which I think is great. You can make it do intermittent, and it also has dual direction, so it's perfect if you're like at a desk and you want some to go to you and some to go to whoever's on the other side, or whatever. So that's cool with the dual direction. And then we also have, it's called the Trellis Air. This one's nice if you're worried about any kind of water damage. So if you're like in an office nearby, something that you can't get wet, this does not have any kind of water reservoir. It uses the pad system, and so when it turns on, it's just putting oil from the pad into the air, so still good. It also has a really nice blue like light that I think is very attractive. So that's your second option. And the third option is the size of a Coke can, which makes it really great. It does have to be plugged in, which the brand new ones from doTERRA that just got offered this month don't have to be plugged in. They run on a rechargeable battery, which you can like use your USB charger to charge up. So I'm looking forward to getting one of those. They're called the Pilots, but this is what used to be cool. And I really like the runtime on this. I have actually, like, I've turned it on before I go to bed, and like still in the morning it's still diffusing, and it's beautiful. And you can change if you want it to like rotate through the colors or something like that, or be off but still have the whatchamacallit, still have the mist or whatever. So that one's really nice. So Marie, go ahead and put in the comments if you would like the Scent Trekker, which is the smaller one, the Trellis Air, or if you would like I think we just call it the 360. Because it has the ability to kind of like switch directions and stuff like that. It doesn't actually switch as it's going. It just, you can kind of make them go up whichever way. Okay, so put that in the comments. That's going to be sent to you. Actually, you live close enough. I can probably bring it to you. So we'll see if we can do a little porch drop. All right, yep, and thank you, Marissa. So if you attend the 8 education classes and participate, that's when you get the diffuser. And also for the the biz training classes, which you guys just finished, there's two things. One is if you want it, you can get a 10-pack of the A to Z guides, which are cool. And the other thing is I like to give people treats for participation. Just like if you were here at my home, I'd like to load you up with some goodies that were oil infused. So since I can't and you're far away, my idea has been to send little something that you want to try, something that like very likely if you were here and you're like, I've always wondered what ginger smells like, I'd probably send you home with some ginger, right? So as if you were here in my home, I also would like to give a little dram gift to whoever participates and send that to you instead. So you can go ahead and comment in the comment section right now. Since you've been here this whole time and participated, I'd like to again invest in you the same way that that you are investing in your learning. So put in the comments if there's something that you've been wanting to try. Maybe that's part of the yoga collection that you haven't yet tried. Maybe you're super curious what the whole Blue Lotus thing is in the Precious Hands collection, Precious Florals collection. Whatever thing it is that you are curious about or wanting to try, put in the comments. But if you have already gotten your, like say it's like 4, like as you attended one of each classes, here's an idea. Consider, instead of making it something that you want to try, consider the dram that I send you to be something that would easily be shareable, right? I know I had asked you guys who so far has shared something with another person, not like a gift, but like just actually like giving it to them the way that we've been learning, where you let them know, I'm going to check in and make sure that this is actually helping for your sleep, or I'm going to like call you in 2 days because I want to know, is this the right thing for your body that's going to help you and support you? So if you have already received like your 4 and you're still wanting to listen to more of the business trainings and things like that, like what we're doing now, tell me something that you would like to consider giving to someone else. Maybe you don't have drams or something like that, right? So that's what I'd like to send you. Okay, the trellis, actually you're right, Marie, it does, it comes with, I think it comes with, it might be 5 pads that are refillable, or like interchangeable, I meant to say. This company is called Green Air Inc. And all of the things, even if you like take away the box and like, break it down, recycle it or whatever, the bottom of all the Green Air ones have the number for Green Air. And so you can always call to have the replacements. They're really cheap. I think I've done this once and I think it was like, $5 even with shipping or something like that to get 20 or something. It was great. And you may even be able to make your own. Most of them are just mostly felt. So yeah, that's a good one. I think you'll like that one, Marie. Good job. Okay, so Karina's saying citrus blend. Yeah, you have to clarify if it's the citrus twist, the new one, or if it's the citrus bliss, because there's a couple. There's those 2 there. Oh, and also citrus bloom. There's actually 3 that start with the word citrus. So, so Karina, let me know which one you're looking at there. Seeing some roseberry, some wild orange. Awesome, thank you guys. Yep. So keep putting those in the comments as we're signing off here. Okay, anybody have any other questions before we pop off? Yeah, keep putting those in the comments for sure.